right, people, welcome back to Texas Truck Channel. I'm Brian.
I'm Craig.
And today we are driving the all new, well, a couple months old at this point, but 2023 Lexus RX350 F-Sport?
Something like that.
F-Sport.
Performance something suspension.
What that means is you get 21-inch wheels. And yes, they are massive. And I want to tell you something right now.
It's a lot of inches.
It's a lot of inches. And day one, I thought, this ride's okay. And on day two, I realized they're 21s. I went, this ride's great for 21s. Ride's really good for 21s. Before we even move on to anything else, and we will cover this in a technical portion coming up after this video, check out those brakes.
Those should be red.
They should be red, but look how big they are. They're 6-piston, and they're a 2-piece rotor hat. I'm sorry, is this straight off of a Le Mans car? This does not make any sense to me at all, but that is what you get with the F-Sport package. And that's partially why it costs so much more. This thing starts out at $57,000. It is a pre-production car, so we don't actually have them in running, so we don't know exactly what this costs. We think it's about $59 with a few little tidbits and destination. But if you get the non-F-Sport and the same motor, you lose those brakes and it's about $6 grand less. That makes a lot of sense, actually. But you also get with this package, you get the F-Sport logo, which looks
a nice badge.
Brilliant. Think of like an M package on like a 3 Series. That's kind of what that is. And you get a different fascia. This is bespoke to the F-Sport, and it goes with this snob and this nose and the catfish opening. Something I keep noticing on cars is I really like it when they integrate the radar cruise sensor behind the logo itself. It looks like it belongs there and nothing looks goofy. You also have a forward-facing camera right here, and the camera system's really good on this. Bring it around, Craig. Look at this paint. Obviously, we've done our best to clean this. Well, we didn't clean anything at all. Actually, we've been getting it dirty on purpose, but more on the off-road video coming up too. That'll make more sense. This is Grecian blue. We had this car this color a few years ago on the IS350, and we freaking love it. What a great looking car. Let's take it around. Something I think that's pretty interesting is that the F-Sport nose gives you some aero. Look at this slot right here. That's aero. I wouldn't call it active, but maybe it's flexy enough to get more cooling to the brakes, which is pretty neat. The non-F-Sport package, you don't get that appearance look on it, which is pretty neat. Let's bring it on the back, check out the hatch. Oh, quick test, quick test. Is there a button for that? That is silly. Oh no, it failed. It failed. You gotta do the cap.
Yeah, there's a nice little spot to put it.
Well, I guess that's partial pass. Really, you need to have, you know, the Ford one or the Chevy one. The one that's like just...
It does say premium though.
It does say premium, and we'll talk about that more on Powertrain in just a second. Coming up to the back, you also have a bespoke fascia, which is specific to the F-Sport package, and this is also all-wheel drive. You do have towing abilities, which I'm impressed with that. A lot of crossovers don't even pretend to do that, so I appreciate that. So now, before we hop in the interior, let's check out under the hood. All right, let's check out the piece de resistance and the real news here. The all-new 2.4-liter turbo, and this will be what you have in all things Toyota going forward. In the future, I would expect this in the Camry. It has the 8-speed automatic, the ISIN unit, which you find in Volkswagens and Toyotas alike. It's in a bunch of stuff, kind of like the ZF 8-speed is in a bunch of rear-wheel drive stuff. This transmission has been used a lot, and it's good. No complaints. And we don't want to talk about Grand Sport too much. We've got a lot coming on that soon, but this will be the bulk power unit for that vehicle. 275 horse, 317 torque, and the torque is available down low, and it goes really well. We'll show you those over 60 time here in just a second. It does require premium fuel to get that done, so just know that. One more thing I do like, kind of reminds me of the Supra a little bit. Look at that clamshell, kind of comes all the way to the edge, wraps around a little bit. I just think it's a good design, I like it. Enough of that nonsense. Let's drive, or oh wait, not drive it. Interior.
Come over here, Brian. I want you to see this. Just like any good SUV, power tailgate, you get plenty of room back here for bodies and gear. Probably a nice thick carpet that's hiding probably, oh,
yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, look, a tire.
An actual spare wheel, which is a decent design on the spare. That's kind of cool. It's not just a plastic cover.
And an actual jack.
Pretty neat. Maybe that's a pre-pro. I don't think so though. I bet you that's coming on everything.
What's the jet?
You can cover all your goodies because when you're shopping, you know, at Gucci or something, you don't want people to see it. So.
At least Whole Foods.
Yeah, or Whole Foods, yeah. Power seats to lower it, so you hit the button and it flops down. Just like that. Now you have to walk around to the other side to pull it back up, but, well, let's do that actually. Let's walk around to the other side and pull it up. So once we got the seat down, we have to push it back up, and then there's a little button here, lever here. We can recline the seat a little bit if you're sitting in the back, so you can pimp it out a little. Let's see what kind of headroom we've got. Not the most for me, but let's see what Brian has. Brian, why don't you get in here, because
Sure.
you're a little taller than me, you got a tall torso. Let's see what we got, but yeah.
It's the Pano life.
I was kind of afraid of that, and it's because of this beautiful panoramic with the full blackout, which is nice.
In Texas summers, I'm glad this is not perforated. That's nice.
Absolutely, but a little bit of a bummer with the headroom issue. So, continuing in the back though, we've got nice cup holders. My kids love this little thing right here. You hit a button.
Ooh, how posh.
I like that. A little bit of entrance there. That's kind of nice. And then you get 6 USB outlets. You get 4 up front, 2 in the back. They're USB-C in the back. My kids were not happy that they were USB-C because, well, they're not as bougie as I am, and they have USB-A still. So sorry, they had to just deal. You get map pockets back here for this side and that side, so they can both navigate with a map for the dad. And of course, grab handles, because this is an F-Sport suspension package. You might want to test those brakes out. To get out of the car, Brian, there's a little button here. You just hit the button, or you can pull it. So I can hit the button and push, and it opens real easy.
But wait, what are the batteries dead in the car?
Batteries dead in the car. You pull it not just once, because if your kid accidentally does that and you're driving, it doesn't open. You pull it again, still, oh, you got to double click it, and then it opens in sequence. So a little confusing for some of my kids, which was pretty funny. So it was kind of almost a skills test, but it's actually pretty easy. You just, you just push the button. There you go.
Right.
Brian, before you get in the front, show them how to open it right there.
Yeah, let me pull. It's not like that. There's an actual button. There's a D-pad right here. Kind of like a Corvette.
Basically like a Corvette's what this is. What I want to talk about in here, because this is all new. This is the 5th generation RX. Nice, posh, updated interior. Most importantly though, I've got Brian's wallet.
Of course.
So thanks for that. I'm going to keep that, and he might get it back later. Also, we've got Brian's Monster. So we got his Monster here because he needed some caffeine today. But what I want to show is, Brian, let me see this real quick. Let me show the people. There is a little button here that says push, and you push it, and that raises. So if you have a tall boy, you can push it down, or you can raise it. Look at that. Kind of cool. Took me a long time to figure that out. I didn't know what was going on. Pretty cool. F-Sport, we get the perforated steering wheel, we get the perforated shifter handle, we get the aluminum pedals down here, dead pedals, regular pedals. I don't know if you're going to show up. There it is.
You get door sill plates.
You get door sill plates. Pretty cool. You do get extra bolstering in the front seats. My wife didn't like that. She would probably not get the F-Sport package, to be fair. But an interesting driving position in that it's comfortable, very convenient, but there's a lot of information going on here. And so I want to show some of that, because the people need to see this. Look at all these lights and buttons and information going on here. I got to hold the button to turn it off. I'm going to hold there. Okay, now it's off. There's a lot of information going on the screen, especially when you have cruise control on, you have lane keep and all that fun stuff. But it does work. You're not going to be able to really see the heads-up display from here, but these D-pads are touch sensitive. So as you just put your finger, hover your finger over it, it changes the control up in the heads-up display, and you don't see anything in here, which is really interesting. Normally you hit these D-pad buttons and you would control things in that section, but you don't. You do it all in the heads-up display for this side, and then this side, 2 different functions going on for volume and media, and then cruise control and sport modes over here. You can also do a lot of things with the wonderful Toyota, Texas-developed, Lexus-developed, designed in Plano UI. I want to show you some things here. If you go to the car button here, pretty cool. You can, one of the things we love, Brian and I always complain about in the driving assist things, it's hard to find all the different things going on. You hit driving assist, you can turn all these on, toggle, easy.
That's nice.
It's very nice. That was really cool. And you can do it while you're driving. Pretty cool.
What are these guys? What's happening here?
That is all the way up, and it's not really hitting my face real well.
Oh, wait, what is this?
It's a vent. It's
a vent with a bar in the middle.
It's a vent with a bar in the middle. It's really, because that's as far as it goes, it hits a bar. Okay. So what you do is you use the vent over here for your face.
Okay.
Has wireless charging, wireless CarPlay. Interesting note with the Apple CarPlay. When you're using Apple CarPlay and you use Apple Maps, you get driving directions in your heads-up display. Pretty cool. If you use Google Maps, you don't get driving directions in your heads-up display. If you use the native system navigation built on Google, you get the driving displays in the heads-up display. Pretty interesting. That's enough of this, though.
Wait, one more thing.
Oh, yeah, probably should mention that.
Just want to explain a few things. We have a few little things in here that aren't fitting quite right, and this is why it's pre-production. Last thing I want to throw in, Craig, That's the best hat holder in the business.
It is very good. But let's drive this thing. Let's see what F-Sport performance suspension, whatever means when you hit the gas pedal with this new engine.
All right, Craig, before we do the 0-60 run, I'd be a little remiss if we didn't mention all the trims available because I didn't realize how many there were. Hit it is.
5th generation RX, you can get the 350,
okay,
the 350 Premium,
okay,
the Premium Plus,
okay,
the Luxury,
okay.
We're in the F-Sport handling.
Okay, that's 5.
And then they have other hybrids and premiums and all-wheel drives, and then at the top of the line you get the 500H F-Sport Performance instead of handling.
Which is this suspension, wheels, tires, brakes, plus the hybrid powertrain.
Correct.
Okay, all right. That's a lot. That's 6 plus some variables in there.
That's a lot of them. So,
while you're double fisting phones, let's use this one that says...
Okay, yeah, just hit it. Hit it.
Go sport mode.
Hit it.
Oh, no wheel spin, 20.
Good initial
30,
off the line.
40, 50, and 60 indicated.
7.39 with both of us and some heat soak, although not much.
Definitely. Well, we did a few runs off camera. We always test these with one driver off camera to see how good the car can do.
Sure.
We try different launch techniques and different drive modes. Granted, we're on a street surface. We're not prepping surfaces.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Right.
So our real world result, the best one was 7.21.
Not bad.
Not bad. And that was with stability on, traction off.
Right.
When I had them both off, the system was still pulling throttle no matter what I was doing because it was even more concerned about stability control. So that's all that is. Ride and drive, Craig.
Ride and drive? Okay, for 21s, I drove this a lot.
Yep.
Did a little Texas road trip.
Sure. A little Texas rallycross road trip.
Well, maybe a little rallycross.
Right.
Very comfortable.
Okay, fair.
Very comfortable.
I do want to say, when I first got in this, I was like, man, this kind of ride's choppy. Like, 20s seem pretty rough for this, and then we realized they're 21s, and we didn't get a build sheet in this car, so we had to go do some digging. It rides really good for 21s.
It does ride really good for 21s, and you're right. If you're in the city and you hit some hard crashes or entries and exits in like some parking lots, you do feel that a lot. But on a smooth country road, you just don't really feel it.
Yeah, but if you're doing urban driving, it makes small potholes feel like big potholes.
Sure.
That's not unique to anything. That's just big wheels. That's how that goes.
But speaking of big wheels, it also has big brakes. Tell us about those.
6 piston opposing piston brakes, not floating. They're fixed mounted, and they're a separate vented hat. So you have the rotor with a separate aluminum hat, and that's for heat soak.
It's crazy.
Craig, that is like heavy duty track use.
It almost doesn't make sense on this car.
It doesn't make sense on this car. And we'll throw a clip in here of it breaking. It broke better than I thought it would.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
It's pretty good.
But it doesn't have the power to match it. Even with the hybrid powertrain that has more power, I don't know that even makes sense. And you're paying a lot for it. I think that's the most valuable part of the F-Sport package. For the entire life of this car, doesn't matter how fast you go, you'll never run out of brakes.
Okay, 5th generation RX. This is kind of all new. This is the 5th time we've done it. But RX started the whole crossover kind of thing, didn't they? Back in '98, you had the RX300, it was a 3-liter.
Right.
And the 350 was a 3.5.
Right.
But now we've kind of gotten away from that.
Of course.
The biggest news is the UI and the 2.4.
That's it. And I want to talk about the 2.4 mostly because we're in the drive portion right here.
Sure.
This is the future of Toyota. The 3.5 V6 that you and I both love.
The 2GR.
The 2GR, it's not long for this world. It's on its way out.
Yeah.
Which makes me sad, but it is just the reality of it. And why are they making the move, Craig? Because the power isn't that much better. Why is it?
It's emissions. It's not necessarily fuel efficiency or performance. It's all about emissions. A turbo does a better job of burning all the hydrocarbons in the fuel.
Right.
And so what comes out of the tailpipe is a little cleaner than a naturally aspirated motor.
Right.
That's really good.
Which is true.
2023, a lot of regulations kind of come into play, and that's really impacting a lot of car companies. And this is what this is going to do. This gets them to 2030 until regulations get even worse.
Exactly. So enjoy this before it's all electric or all hybrid. It's just where we're going in the world. But it is a good four-banger. It's not wowing me. It doesn't have the personality of the V6, but it gets the job done.
Kind of thrashy, but it's fun.
It is a little thrashy, but we've had this trans before. It's fine as well.
Transmission's great.
Tell them about the turbo venting. What's going on under the hood?
So there's more in our technical review. Watch that. But there's a...
Wait, you're right. We'll watch our technical video.
Okay, fair enough.
UI, you kind of covered this in the driving portion. It's straight out of the Tundra.
Yes.
No complaints. I like it a lot.
It's very good. One of my favorite things about it is that the voice recognition in this, we talked about it when we first experienced this UI.
Right.
It is better than Alexa, Siri, Google, any of those.
Yes,
it is really good.
Even our mumbles, it understands.
Yes.
It understands you better than I understand you.
Same here.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
The only complaint I have in terms of interior is that the D-pad interface you're forced to, because there's so much going on.
There is.
It's hard to follow until you get used to it for a while.
Yeah.
The fact that these D-pads are navigated through the heads-up display on a sunny day with sunglasses means you can't use the heads-up display.
Right.
That just seems like a bad idea.
Or if you're behind a white car.
Or behind, yeah, it just blends in. I don't think that's brilliant, but it's also not going to keep me from buying it if you like the car otherwise. So, with all that covered, I think the people that are looking for something that looks cool and it is a crossover for some reason, they're going to love this.
It's also a pretty fun rally car.
As the dust on this shows. Next up, hill test and technical review. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Check it on the socials. See ya.